when Prince died and the revolution had to get back together, that was one of the impetuses for me writing this book. Was I read the story in 2016 about how the band, the first thing they thought of was each other. You know, I got to call Matt. I got to call Wendy. I got to call Lisa. You know, I got to call Bobby. I got to call, you know, Mark. And it ran deep with all of them. You know why? Because they survived it. He demanded so much from them. 6-7 hour jams to build up music. Show up at 2 o'clock at a gig. Play till they open the doors. Eventually security is like, you got to get off the stage because we're letting people in. And then play a whole show. Run back to the hotel, shower, and then ask everybody to come back to the stage to either record or work on a song, or go to an after-hours club and play for another 3 hours. A bunch of songs that they just barely knew. He would just yell out. The demand to be around Prince was immense. It's the same feeling, and I'm not saying this flippantly. It was the same feeling that people had being in the army. There's something in them. They made it through this incredible boot camp of being with Prince. And it meant something to them. And they all said that over the years, after it was all over, they would get calls at 2 in the morning from Prince, or they would see him. And they tell these just great stories about just seeing him later on. And they would make jokes. Remember we used to go out shopping for clothes? Remember we used to go to this hamburger place? They knew him, the him that he wouldn't allow people, because he created that whole myth of Prince. So they knew his sense of humor. That comes out in the songs, but really came out when they were on airplanes or in the back of the van, or they were in the back of First Avenue getting ready for a big gig. So there's something about that, I think, that really bound that last revolution together that they remembered after he passed. In the end, it's just difficult to be around someone that is that manic. I call it restless, but prolific and myopic at times, but completely focused into his art. And as I mentioned many times, and I have to state that if nothing else anybody gets out of this book, what these people, what these musicians meant to the music that you love, even if it was a solitary entity like When Doves Cry or When You Were Mine, but there was many, many times that out of jams came interesting bass lines or interesting little keyboard parts or interesting little harmonies, and those people were a big part of it.